A guide to Busta Rhymes' blended family. What to know about his 6 kids. Busta Rhymes, born Trevor George Smith Jr., has built a career as one of hip-hop's most electrifying performers, but behind the rapid-fire flow and larger-than-life stage presence lies a story of fatherhood, responsibility, and reconciliation. On 7 September 2025, at the MTV Video Music Awards, Busta wasn't just in the spotlight for winning the inaugural Rock the Bells Visionary Award. He was also quietly celebrating a rare family moment, with several of his children proudly watching from the crowd as he delivered an emotional acceptance speech dedicated to hip-hop culture and the late MTV icon Ananda Lewis. This wasn't just another trophy night, it was a glimpse into the personal life of a man who has spent decades balancing the chaos of fame with the grounding role of being a dad. Busta is father to 6 children, and each of their stories reflects a different chapter of his own journey. With his high school sweetheart Joanne Wood, he has 3 sons, Cacie Wood-Smith, born in 1993, Cacie Wood-Smith, and Trillian Wood-Smith. His eldest, Cacie, chose a path away from the limelight, pursuing education and business endeavors while occasionally stepping into the music industry. Cacie has carved out his own ambitions in sports and academics, while Trillian has embraced media and creative work, building an online presence that includes music, podcasting, and events. Then there's Mariah, whose paternity was legally established in 1999 after a court case, a difficult period that placed Busta's personal life in headlines but ultimately solidified his role as her father. Rounding out the family are daughters Cacie and Sacario, whose mothers' identities remain private, but who are increasingly visible in Busta's own reflections about his life. What makes Busta's family story compelling is not just the number of children but the honesty with which he's spoken about raising them. In interviews, he's admitted the guilt of missing magical moments during their childhoods while chasing his music career. He has said providing financially was never the problem, the real cost was being absent during milestones. These admissions struck a chord with fans who often see rappers only through the lens of success and excess. For Busta, fatherhood has been a source of pride but also a lifelong work in progress, one he calls both his greatest blessing and his biggest challenge. That's why the sight of his children together at the 2025 VMAs resonated so deeply. Fans on social media called it a passing of the torch, while critics described it as a public reckoning of sorts. The once hyperactive, flamboyant rapper now standing in his late 40s with a blended family looking on, proud but also reflective. Busta himself has leaned into this narrative, posting heartfelt tributes to his kids on social platforms and reminding followers that while awards and recognition are sweet, nothing compares to being seen as a good father. The broader context adds another layer. Busta came up in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, carving his name with leaders of the new school before going solo and dominating the late 90s and early 2000s with hits like Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See and Break Your Neck. His image has always been about energy, speed, and extravagance. But as his children have grown, his public persona has shifted to include humility, vulnerability, and a visible effort to reconcile the artist with the father. So where does this blended family stand today? Cacie, and Trillian have found their own paths while maintaining a strong presence in their father's life. Mariah has a stable relationship with Busta after early legal battles. Cacie and Sacario, though more private, are increasingly embraced in the fold. And altogether, they represent the real legacy of an artist who has lived long enough to see hip-hop evolve into a global culture and who now understands that his most lasting contribution might not be just his music, but the family he's raised. The story of Busta Rhymes' 6 kids is not just about celebrity lineage, it's about imperfection, growth, and the ongoing balance between fame and fatherhood. And as the rapper himself continues to perform, mentor younger artists, and share more glimpses of his personal life, it's clear his blended family will remain an inseparable part of his legacy. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.